The COVID-19 pandemic is forcing us to rethink the future of cities. The increase in remote work will impact office footprints, transportation patterns, and consumption habits, while the adoption of AI and the increase in automation will continue to reshape the workforce. Successfully reimagining and optimizing every aspect of a city's operation requires a wide variety of tech solutions. This includes automated mobility solutions, construction technology, and green applications, to name just a few. And these, the startup nation has in spades. So in this video, we're gonna tell you startup nations and future cities. The video is gonna be amazing, so make sure you stick till the end. Israel has earned the nickname Startup Nation for a very good reason. With a population of around 8.5 million, it has the largest number of startups per capita in the world, around one startup per 1,400 people. This phenomenon has caught the eyes of companies with global reach and global aspirations, including those in the airline industry. I wouldn't call Israel the startup nation anymore. Chip design company Synopsys CEO Art Degus told Globes, an Israeli business daily newspaper, "You're now an industrial powerhouse. You have a country with several entrepreneurs and venture capital funds that have gone through 4 or 5 cycles. That's a lot of experience. It's no longer amateur hour at all." The dominant literature on smart cities argues that most of the technologies necessary for transforming cities into smart cities are developed and promoted by technological firms as part of their corporate entrepreneurship strategy. A survey of senior officials across 167 cities and 82 countries revealed that 65% of city officials believe smart cities programs will be crucial for their futures post-pandemic. A smart city essentially refers to a framework composed of IoT and cloud computing that collects, manages, and analyzes data to help cities be more efficient and responsive to citizens. It has many potential applications, ranging from IoT-enabled traffic management systems that reduce traffic congestion and accidents to smart grids which can save energy and allow easier penetration of renewable energy. In 2019, there were 379 fully deployed smart city projects in 61 countries, and one study found that the market will be worth $2.75 trillion by 2023. According to data from Startup Nation Finder, the innovation discovery platform from Startup Nation Central, between 1,100 and 1,380 startups are established in Israel every year. Every year, about 80% of them fail. Some then grow and either become bigger companies, but many are also sold to foreign tech firms and some increasingly to local tech firms. But what's beyond doubt is that this country produces a very big amount of tech startups for its size, so the title of Startup Nation makes sense. Smart cities which utilize the Internet of Things, IoT, big data and artificial intelligence, among other technologies to tackle these and other municipal issues are fast becoming a reality, making many cities greener, safer, and more efficient. There are currently more than 250 smart city companies operating in Israel, according to NGO Startup Nation Central. On the path to a more sustainable and seamlessly connected world, technology experts, entrepreneurs, and local governments alike are seeking innovative solutions to tackle the most pressing issues facing urban areas, from congestion and pollution to waste management and recycling. The health crisis has interrupted several smart cities projects and created new hurdles for city administrators. Most notably, city budgets have been squeezed, and one report anticipated long-lasting revenue shortfalls for sub-national governments. In response, some governments are trying to get ahead of this financial gap and using recovery plans to bolster technology investment. For instance, the European Union has set up a €750 billion recovery plan known as Next Generation EU. When technologies are actively built into the urban infrastructure, they collect enormous data that is then useful for enterprises to exploit in order to enhance their own production line. Thus, first enterprises create a smart city market by offering technological infrastructure, which then creates avenues for enterprises to benefit. Israel is at the forefront of the smart cities movement, not only exporting its homegrown innovations around the world, but also utilizing them to transform its own urban areas. For example, the country's transport solutions are enhancing its existing resources to cut down carbon emissions. Meanwhile, initiatives like the Digitel project aim to foster stronger relationships between citizens and their municipalities. 2017 saw many Israeli-founded companies raise sizable rounds. Cases in point are Via $250 million, Vyar $45 million, Aerobotics $32.5 million, Lemonade $120 million, Cyberreason $100 million, and Monday.com $25 million. These are scale-up companies, some of them with serial entrepreneurs at the helm, entrepreneurs who aspire to build global leaders in lieu of early exits via acquisition. What's more, the number of seed and Series A rounds into VC-backed Israeli startups in 2017 stayed roughly the same, around 115 and 130 rounds respectively, while growth rounds rose by 33% from the year before. So Israel is creating a lot of early-stage startups, and also more of them are growing into bigger companies. There's a level of knowledge sharing between the different players that is almost unheard of, and that assists the entire ecosystem. Itai Green, Innovate Israel, and ITTS. Israel is a very small place, only 9 miles wide at certain points. You're never more than an hour's drive from El Al or Israel. Toker says of his early days of meetings with the country's main airlines. The flip side of that constrained space is congestion. Besides air travel, a great emphasis is placed on innovating in the mass transportation space, says Noir, who points to the government-supported EcoMotion initiative with over 600 startups in the smart transportation sector. As the population of cities increases, the consumption and production patterns also significantly change and grow. Cities are generally known for their creativity and innovation. Mack et al. 2018. They offer avenues for thriving entrepreneurial interest. Product or service consumption levels are generally higher in cities than in rural areas, which helps business firms in exploring and exploiting new entrepreneurial opportunities. For example, the International Panel on Climate Change of United Nations assesses that cities account for about 67 to 76% of total global energy consumption. Especially with the intention of cities to become smart cities, a more robust and sustainable transition of cities is expected to be underway, leaving cities to adopt technology and big data-related resources to enhance city-level efficiency. Smart cities adopt a network infrastructure, also known as ICTs, that comprises different technologies such as sensors to streamline traffic, household technologies that enable energy efficiency, advanced security, and hardware and software produced by the entrepreneurs. In Singapore, which was named the smartest city in the world, citizens were required to scan a QR code with identification information whenever they entered a public space for contact tracing purposes. The government originally gave assurances that the data would only be used for contact tracing. However, it was later revealed that police had been using the data for their investigations, sparking public mistrust. In Zhangzhou, smart city projects came under scrutiny after failing to prevent deaths following severe flooding. The Israeli market is quite small in terms of commercial potential, posits Green, who added the process of marketing to businesses is less complex and expensive than appealing directly to the masses. And if these startups, as Nevo says, are pushing innovation in almost every sector, including cybersecurity, medtech, autonomous driving, energy machine learning, agri-tech, drones, aviation, travel, aerospace, and more, they'll continue to build up Israel's innovation culture and tech influence around the world. Veerd Raviv Schwarz, COO of Fiverr, the world's largest online marketplace for freelance services, believes there isn't that much difference at the core of either startups or scale-ups, who both have to always be prepared for change. I definitely don't think it should be one or the other startup nation or scale-up nation. As the Israeli tech ecosystem matures, we see diversification in skills and experience appropriate for different stages in the company's lifestyle. Startups and scale-ups require high levels of innovation and cutting-edge technology. As the ecosystem continues to grow and evolve, there's no reason why we would not enjoy both worlds in Israel, Raviv Schwarz says. Let us know your opinion in the comment section below. This was all for today. Hope you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Stay safe, and we'll be back soon with another video.